So hi everyone and welcome back. And today I actually wanted to touch a topic that maybe not a lot speaking about, which is the live broadcast. That's I really believe that it's a great tool to grow your business, to build your business. I remember when I started with my business and no one knew me here in South Africa because I used to work in corporate and now I'm trying to do a business and everyone here have like a type of a trust issues and they don't really know you and they don't really give you the benefit of the doubt even. So I found that I said, like, you know what, I'm going to start to do a live broadcast. I found a lady to do it with me. And we actually left the other day that like we actually do it now for 4 years almost, nonstop. Every week we go live. And this is something that really gave me a kick to my business and it really opened me up. And then people start to see, first it helped me with my self-confidence, but then not just that, like it helped me to build the credibility and other things. And that's what I want to share about this. So I'm just going to quickly ask a question. I'm going to have a poll here so you can guys even answer, although we're not allowed, but I want to ask you guys, like, are you actually hosting live broadcasts? Yes, no, maybe you never. Nika, nice, you do. Charlene, I'm gonna assume you guys are yes, no. Let's see in a second. So you know. Okay, so that's like the nice part. Like I know a lot of people are not really sure about like hosting or not hosting and why. And sometimes it's just because of lack of confidence. But I'm gonna share the reasons to why it's actually very important and how it can really also help you again with your business. So I'm going to start with the first tips, which is about cost effective from the marketing side. Okay. So it's a great way and a free platform as well to promote your products, to promote your service, to let your audience to get to know you, who you are, put yourself out there. You don't really need lots of an equipment and stuff for this. You're literally all I do, and I do it like for 4 years now. I only either use my laptop or I use like my phone. So it's really depend. Like if I go on Instagram, I'll use my phone. If I'll do Facebook, YouTube, I just do it here. So I don't really need to buy something unique or anything for this. It's really just happening easily. You don't even need to buy a microphone or stuff like this. It's so easy. So it's very cost effective from that side. Also, it's a great from the side that you can actually use it to reach out to a larger audience that's in very low cost because basically the only cost is basically your internet, right? That you're either way paying for other things you do, your laptop that you're either way using and your phone. So in a low cost, you actually reach out to a large audience. And also it's from the side that you actually can use it to target a specific audience. Okay, so you can do it in specific places and in specific groups, for example, on Facebook, and treat that like very like in low cost. You can reach out to exactly who you want to reach out to. The next reason, it's great to actually increase reach. Okay, you can share it on the various social media platforms. So let's say, for example, when I do my live with that lady, we do it on Facebook. But then I take the video, I download the video, and I share it on Pinterest and I share it on LinkedIn. And sometimes I can even share it on other platforms like the way I want it. Like it's especially like depends as well on the topic. It can be used also to reach out, as I said before, like to a wider audience in just a few minutes. And it's not even a few minutes. Sometimes it can be like in a few seconds that you actually go live. And then the nice part that even from the algorithm, right? If you do it on Instagram, because you're going live, it actually announcing your followers and other people that you're going live. And that's a great way, right, to reach out to a wider audience and very easily. And also, like by reaching out to a wider audience, it helps you to actually to reach out to more potential customers, which that is amazing. And that's the purpose. Okay, when I always say that you want social media to work for you, and not the other way around, like you working for social media, use the different tools you've got. And a live broadcast, it's a great tool to actually reach out to your audience. And from here also to build, you like your credibility, authenticity. It's a great thing for you to showcase your brand. And I always believe that, as I always say, people buy from people, and people buy from people they have a connection with, people that they can build relationship with, and that's how you gain their trust. So that's a great way to show the person behind the brand, and not just to have like a logo behind it. It's actually to show I am a human being. As I said, like in the beginning, that's what helped me to build the credibility, because people could have seen me, the person, hear the tone of my voice, see how much I know, how much I don't know, ask me question, engage with me, and through that, like, to connect with them. Because as you see, like, customers are more likely to connect with a business that there's actually a human face behind it. I always compare it when two of my clients that they actually selling the same stuff, pretty much same category of products, and one have a face and the other one doesn't. And you can really see the impact of it with the amount of followers, the engagement, and everything. People want to know there's someone behind it, okay? That's what really helped me with my business, because also you get the people energy. And then you can say, like, I feel a connection to this, or this energy is just too much for me. I'm assuming probably some people say, like, oh my God, she speaks too fast. I don't know, she speaks with her hands, whatever, and I don't feel like it. And it's fine. And that goes back to the side that, like, you can actually reach out to people that are like, your right audience. That's how you target it the right way. And again, it's, as I said, it's really like you can use it to show the real you, who you are, the person, and start connecting with your audience. And through that, and that's another reason why it's a great thing, it really helps you to increase engagement, because it allows you to engage with your audience in real time, okay? Because it's like now, it's instant, it's happening at this moment, and they can come and engage with you and ask the different questions and get all the answers they need as well. Like, as I said, like, it's like you're creating a personal connection. They start to feel comfortable to come and ask you questions, to reach out to you, to follow you, to build relationship, of course, with them. Because as I said, we want to build relationship. If we're building relationship, it means we're gaining their trust. If we're gaining their trust, they're going to be loyal to our brand and our best brand ambassadors. As well, it's also helping us to create a sense of community. And for those who watch like my different sessions and my content, I always repeat it, like, we want to build a community around our brand. It doesn't matter what we're selling, what is the product or service, we're building a community. We all want to feel that we're part of something, feel belong to. And to go live, it doesn't mean that I need necessarily to go live now and share some tips. I can also go live and share like my products, like what I do, what's happening in real time in, let's say, my factory, or how do I make my art, like, and I make it like in real time, or like even like going live when I do like certain, like, I don't know, participate in exhibitions or events and things like that. So there's lots of different ways of looking at this, right? But you want to use it to increase that engagement, because if I feel part of your community, there's a better chance that I'll start engaging with you more on your content, on a private message. And through that, of course, it also leads to increase in the brand loyalty. And that's what we want, because we want to build a brand that's going to be here for the long run. It's also like great because this is a great tool to receive an instant feedback from your audience. It's a great tool to get a feedback from them, to know what's working, what's not, what they like, what they don't like, what are the common questions they have, what are they most interesting in. It's a great way for that part, okay? And it can help you actually improve your product, your services, because you put it out there and they give you a feedback. And then on real time, you say, okay, I understand this is what's working, this is what's not. You're making the relevant changes. And then, of course, you present it again in the next like live broadcast. And that's how you build that relationship. Okay. And as I said, it's also a great tool to really learn about your audience. Because I always say, right, when you're working on building your business, and especially with social media, you want to start to get to know your audience. And this is a great way to learn about them. Because when I go live, I always ask, like, as well, who's with me, who's not. Like, if you've got questions, if you want to give me like topics for next time, What are your takeaways from this? What's working, what's not? And through that engagement, through that feedback, you're actually learning about them, and that's how you can make the right adjustments. Because the purpose, right, when we're building a brand, is to know exactly who we're trying to reach out to, understand them, build that relationship with them. And that's why it's really a great tool for us to use in order to really engage and get the feedback and see what's working and what's not. So now I want to share some tips about how you can actually host a successful live broadcast. So the first part is to really plan and prepare. And again, this is the part that everyone needs to do what's right for them. Okay. For example, the lady that I do the live with, I just need to know like the bullet points. Okay. So for me, I just need to know the topics, the bullet points, and I'm fine and I'm ready. She, on the other hand, needs to get into more details before she's doing it. So she'll make sure she knows what she can speak about. So I know myself, she knows herself. So everyone needs to know their personality and how they work. But it's really important to plan, okay? To plan your content, to create an outline, okay? What you want to cover. Because you don't want to go live and then it's like, oh, like, sure, I should have spoke about this. I should have mentioned this. Oh, I forgot to say this. And then you're like, oh, and it happened. It happened to me. Okay. So, and I remember the first time I did a live by myself, I was speaking so fast because I felt so uncomfortable that I was like, did I covered everything? Did I said everything? Like, what the hell just happened there? I don't know what they got or not. And that's why it's very important to come prepared. So, for example, when I do my live, I write the topic and I write a few bullet points. But because I think fast, I'm fine with this. Okay. But I know what are the most things that I want to cover. So you do the way it's right for you. But again, also get ready by preparing the equipment that you need. So don't go live on the phone and then, it's not connected to the internet. Oh, oops, I don't have a battery like that will last me enough for the live. Because sometimes you host and you're not sure how long it's going to take. Even me, when I create this session, I don't necessarily know how long it's going to take. Okay, so I need to come prepared to make sure I have everything. So I even prepared like a glass of water, so I won't find myself like coughing out of nowhere and now I need to get up and go get like a drink or like, or do something like this. You want to get ready. You want to know yourself. So prepare the equipment as well that you need. Also make sure that you are going live at the right time for your audience. Like I know when I do those live sessions, for example, I know that people not always can join, but that's why I'm recording this. And that's why I'm giving the opportunity for them to watch it after. But when I do go live, like let's say on Instagram, on Facebook, I'm playing with the time. So for the 4 years, we've changed the days, we've changed the hours, because we realize, okay, on those days, people are not really watching. On those days, people are more watching. We're playing with this. We're also learning, what's working and what's not. And especially like, let's say it's always easy, right? To give it an example with moms. If I'm reaching out to moms for kids, I'll do it during the day and I won't do it in the afternoon. I'll do it either during the day while they're in work or like, like doing stuff work related and not with the kids, especially like not in the hours when there's the showers and the like, dinner and stuff like this and the bedding time. I'll do it after. I'll do it like at 9 o'clock at night when I know that usually the kids supposed to be asleep, supposedly, not always. But I'll plan around this, okay? So you learn the time. And by the way, on Instagram, for example, you can actually go like to the live broadcast and then you can see how many people are online at the moment. And that's a great way like for you to know also when to post your reels and your content, because you can see how many of them are actually active now as well. Like you can see, oh, there's only like 70 some people now from like the thousands of followers I have. That's not a good time. But if you check in a different hour and you see 100 or something or 200 or something or like more, then you know, okay, that's a good time for me. So I can go live now. Okay. And also when you do this, you want to make sure that you've got like, let's say you want to share links. Okay. Make sure it's ready. Not that, oh, I need to search for it now. I don't know where to put it. Wait, it's taking me time. It's getting me longer. And as well, I think one of the things that I actually haven't mentioned here, but now I'm mentioning a different one, it's also to make sure that you have planning, like that you have a plan B. Okay, so I know, for example, when I try to go live from Zoom in a certain group that I have, I know sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't let me go live from Zoom on that specific group. So what I do know is that I also have as a plan a different platform that I use to go live. So I always have it as a plan B. And then I said to the person, listen, it doesn't work now. I'll send you this link now quickly because the link is already ready and we'll meet there and we'll go live from there. So you want to make sure that you have, and that's why I said it's important to have a backup plan because we all experience technical issues. There is no such thing. It's not only in South Africa. It's everywhere it can happen. Actually, someone actually messaged me today, like when I do my live, always in the first like minute or two, there's issues with the sounds. So you want to make sure that you're either having a backup device. Let's say if you have issues with your laptop, so then you can do it from your phone or the other way around. Even like the change in the time because of maybe like internet connection, like we have here the load shedding. So you want to make sure that, like, I know that before I had the UPS, if there is load shedding, I cannot go live because Zoom is eating all my data in very quick. I gave it a trial. Okay. It was eating like in half an hour, like at least a gig. So, and that's a lot. And so you want to make sure you have a plan. You also, as I said, like for have a backup platform. So for example, I usually use either Zoom or StreamYard for this. Okay, so this is the two platforms that I use. And both of them are like free platform that you can use for this, but I always have a plan. And also, if you maybe know there's going to be some technical issues or not succeeding, you can always also pre-record it and just maybe play this. That's what they call the evergreen thing, that you usually do one webinar, record it, and then you never repeat it again. You just basically put a recording every time. Okay, so you want to make sure there's always a plan because it's not nice that you maybe promoted it and said like I'm going up and people are waiting and waiting. That actually can really damage a brand because your credibility is not good here. The next one is actually promote your broadcast. Okay, make sure you're putting it out there. So you use it like to put it, for example, on a newsletter, on maybe story features. I usually, and this time, for example, I forgot to do it about this. And I was sitting there, I was like, yeah, I had such a crazy day yesterday. Never mind, my card was swallowed in the ATM. I was in tears, but I've managed to sort it out. Yes. So my mind was everywhere. So then I remember, oh, I didn't do it in the story feature, but the story feature is very nice, especially if you do it on Instagram, because you have the countdown. So if you're making sure that you know you're going live, let's say today at 5 o'clock, like tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, at 5 o'clock today, you put the story, you put the countdown, and then it ends in the same time. And people can actually put a reminder to themselves. So Instagram will remind it to them. You can also, of course, like, you know, use it like and promote it on the different platform, on the different groups, on different WhatsApp, Telegram groups. You can even collaborate with other people when you do the live because maybe you don't feel like doing it by yourself. So you do it with someone else. That's what I've done because, for example, in the beginning, I was really struggling to do a live by myself. Like I didn't have the courage to do it. And I'll never forget that conversation. I met this lady, Bridget, that I do with her. I met her on a networking event. And then I sent her a message and I said, like, and I called her and I said, like, do you maybe think, like, want to go live with me? And she said, like, I don't know, but you know what? Let's meet for a coffee. And then we met for a coffee. And then she was like, I don't know. You know what? Let's give it a trial for a month. The month became 4 years now. So when you find someone else to collaborate with and do those lives with, it's very great because you can benefit each other platforms. Because what happened is that I host and she's doing with me, we're tagging each other, we're putting on a different platform. That's why, like when she promoted as well. And when I'm speaking about promoting the live, it's not just promoting it before the event, it's also after the event, okay? Like to keep on promoting it even after and building that audience that's going to come and keep on joining your sessions, the things that you're doing. And that's a nice thing because you get more followers out of that if you do the right collaborations. You're getting another exposure to this. So it's very great, okay? So I'm really speaking now about how you can make it very successful. So it's not just to be very spontaneous and say, so if I'll go back, right, for the previous slides, it's not that I'm going spontaneously and now doing a live. Sometimes that can happen, and I've done it a few times. But when you want to do something very professional that's going to bring you more even result, make sure that you're preparing and planning. You're planning your content, you're planning the equipment, you're making sure you've got everything right. You're making sure you're having a backup plan just in case of, because technology, we cannot always, like count on it. And even when I think, it's not even that technical. I remember in the beginning, because she's in Hout Bay and I'm in Bloberg, we used to meet in the like at top of the middle. We used to do it at Lagoon Beach Hotel in Milnerton. And now we're doing the live, and then out of nowhere, these guys are saying that we're actually doing and speaking to the camera. And then this guy like, do you want to have a drink? Do you want to order something? Now we're doing a live broadcast. They're like, yeah. So you need to make sure that you're planning, and out of nowhere, there's sound, there's things. So that's also part of the plan, making sure that you're doing it in a quiet place, that no one will interfere to you in this. And make sure you're promoting it. And there's so many tools today, social media, newsletter, different groups, everything that you can think about. And to make it more successful, also make sure that you're really engaging with your audience. So as I said in the beginning, like, this is a great tool to improve engagements, to build your credibility and all of that, but also make sure that you're really engaging with them in the live, to ask them questions, to allow them and give them the option to ask you questions, and then start answering their questions. You see, so you need to make sure there's always a movement there. When I always do the lives, I always make sure, and I'm asking, write down who's with me, like who's watching this, what do you think about the tips, what do you think, if you have questions. It's to really make sure that it's not just me coming and having a speech, it's giving them the option. So for example, when I record this, because it's a session, I prefer to leave the questions to the end. But if I would have done it as a live session, I would have given the people option to write in the comments, and then I look at their comments and I read. This way you're also showing them, I see you. You're not just like, here to give me the views. I see you. I answer your question. By answering your question, I'm showing that I'm an expert in what I do. I'm building that credibility. I'm building that trust. I'm showing my authentic side of, like, I'm here, I'm engaging, I'm with you with this. And it's really important to acknowledge your comments. And what I like, for example, that you don't have on Zoom, but the reason why I do the live with that lady on Zoom, because she prefer it. But like, I personally prefer StreamYard, because in StreamYard, you have the option to put their comments on the screen. You click on it, and then it puts it on the screen, and then you put the topic on the screen. And I personally actually prefer this, because it really helps you to show like the audience, like, and I love to do it. Like, when people write me comments, and especially I do it mostly like on my Israeli community, because they are really use StreamYard, is that people write comments like, oh, I love what you said. Now I'll put it on the screen and I'll say, oh, thank you so much for this comment. Or people ask a question, I'll put the question on the screen. And that's how you're engaging. And that's how, if I'll go back for a second, for the previous slides, it's this. It's like you really want to build, increasing the reach from this, because they're going to come and do it more. It's a cost-effective tool for you to engage with them. And where's the one that I wanted? It's this one. Sorry, the engagement part. You're building a community with them through that. You actually creating a personal connection. You are building this relationship with them, and through that, increasing.
Hold on.
Right, I'm putting on mute. Sorry. And through that, you're increasing the brand loyalty, and that's what you're trying to do. We don't want to build a brand that's going to disappear in a few months, in a year or 5. We want to build something that's going to be here for the long run. And that's why it's very important. So make sure that you're really working on engaging with your audience. Be active. It's to be active, not to just, I came here. It's not like, like politicians when they give the speech and then they go and disappear. Wait, you left me with all the questions. You want to have that. So you want to build it in between. Okay. That also helps them to stay longer. And through that, the retention is very low. And that's what we're trying to do. Follow up after the broadcast. Okay. So it's not just to post and like, here, I've been here, I'm done, bye-bye. Post the recording after. Tag if people are commenting, so make sure you're entering and asking questions there. Send even a follow-up email. Like, for example, when I do this live with you guys, I record it, then I put it on my YouTube, but I also share it on my newsletter. For those who missed it out, I put it there, okay? And that's why, like, for example, most of my views for these sessions that I host, I actually get after on my YouTube. Okay, and that's what happened when you're also hosting a live session. A lot of people sometimes cannot really join during the live from different reasons, but they watch the recording. More people actually sometimes even watch the recording after. That is why it's very important. So you kind of have a win-win. On one hand, you're going live, and then you have some people coming there, and you engage them in real time. And then after, there's still more coming and watching. And especially if you share it on different platforms, you know, it's a great way for them to still be and watch. And then they come. And that's the nice thing. You give them both options to watch it in real time and to watch it when it's comfortable and convenient to them. And don't be afraid to ask for feedback about your content. I always ask. I always try to ask in the different places. And in some places, I'll create a poll and I'll ask, what else do you want to hear more? What are the topics? What is working for you? What is not? That's why even you guys know that always after those sessions, when I have the space for the Q&A, I do give that option and I ask, like, what are your takeaways? What have you taken from this? Like, any feedback, any questions? And through the questions you guys are asking, I'm also learning what else to write for, what else I should have maybe added, what else have I missed? Because we're human beings, okay? There's also a limit to how much we cover. That's why I love brainstorm, like to do brainstorming with people, because it gives me more ideas, it gives me more stuff. Like even with design I make, and I'm like, what do you think? Is it working? Is it not? It's nice. So don't be afraid to ask for feedback. Remember, we want to learn as much as we can about our audience. If we'll be shy, if we won't like share it with them and ask for feedback, if we won't look, even looking at the analytics of our lives and see how many people watch it, how many didn't, like why, what have I missed, like what have I done like that I could have maybe improved. There's always room for improvement, always. If I look at my first live that I did in Lagoon Beach with Bridget, and then I look at our last lives, it's different. We grew through this, and I really believe that it's a great tool for you to really build your confidence. For me, it helped me a lot. And I was very afraid. I'll never forget it that we both came to do the live together. We met there and I said, like, listen, I wasn't sleeping the entire night. My stomach was so sore. I was so nervous. But when you do it with someone, let's say you're not feeling comfortable to do it by yourself, do it like me. I've done it with someone else. Now I can do it by myself. I don't care. But it's also always nice to do it with someone else. So do it as a start. And there are so many topics you can do about. And as I said, a live broadcast can really be like you taking your phone, going live and showing the space of work, or showing like that you're now in a networking event or something like this and come and meet. And for example, even for you, like Hanika, I know now you're saying you're in Dubai. That's actually nice, like for you to go live and share, like, let's say that you go into a specific corner to do your art. And you're just sharing, it can be like 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes at the top. It doesn't need to be a long one. You can use it like to invite people as well to your event, to things you do, to check your new freebies, to check a new channel, a new video, whatever you want. It's not just to be like a tips and everything. So that's why I really like it. I think doing live broadcasts, it's a great tool. I know a lot of people are not using it, but I think if you actually get a bit of the courage and do something that's a bit outside of your comfort zone, you can see results. Because as I said, like when I started this session, when I did this is what helped me to kick my business. Because then people saw me, they saw me being consistent, they saw the real me, and they started to build relationship with me. And most of the engagement I used to receive was actually not in the comments of the videos, but actually in private messages. And then people were tagging me and saying like, oh, wow, like I watch your live now, like, thank you so much. And even now, you guys know I have the WhatsApp group and someone actually wrote like, like I'm watching now the stuff. Because people not always can be there and watch it in real time, but they come and they build it. And through that, I've built my business. I was doing it constantly and it really, really helped. So that's why I really, really recommend to do it. And as I said, if someone not sure, hey, if someone wants, I'll go live with you. Okay, because I'm thinking to start something new. I want to do that like I used to do it. I'm used to do it in my Israeli community, and I want to move it now to Instagram and to host every week a different business owner and do a little interview and get a bit of an introduction about your business. So if you guys want to participate, you can write even me here in the chat. And for those of you who watch on the YouTube, you can write down like oh nice, you see guys, yes, woo, nice, you see your guys are coming. So we'll do this and I will do it and then I'll start promoting it, and you see there's always an option and that will be your first live and you can sit to start. And for those who watch on YouTube, you can just write in the comments on YouTube and I'll reach out to you. So that's a great way. And by the way, by doing this, you're not, for example, only getting the exposure to my audience, but I'm getting exposure to your audience. And then you can take the video, you can download it and share it on a different social media platform. And that's a great way to even share why you do what you do. Get to know you, the person behind the brand. So great. So now I know pretty much all of you actually wrote that yes. Now I'm going to reach out to you with this. I know. And that's this. So I'm going to first, you know what? I want to first share the first offer that two of you are there. For those who actually watch on YouTube, I do have a private WhatsApp group that you can actually scan the QR code here and join. There I'm sharing my tips from the I post on the different platforms, special offers on this event, so you won't miss out. I put straight the Zoom link and everything. So for those of you who haven't joined, this is a great thing for you to do and join.